Welcome to the Learning Unit, Critical Analysis of Educational Materials. This learning unit is divided into 3 sub-learning units. The first one is what a stereotype is. The second one and the third one focus on how to adopt a critical approach to educational resources. We need to carefully check and critically analyze the resources we are using. They need to be updated and critically analyzed, taking into account different perspectives, also to consider points of view of historically marginalized groups. For example, looking at the pictures, what do you notice? As for the images below on the left, for example, if inserted in a certain educational context and presented in reference to domestic activities that generally belong to parents, can contribute to the rooting of gender stereotypes, according to which it is normal for only women to carry out domestic activities without any help. The image at the top right, on the other hand, is an example of a representation that can convey cultural stereotypes. Why according to you? A stereotype is a simplistic representation, often degrading and ingrained, which is used to describe characteristics attributed to an individual or a group, generally reduced to one particular feature. The more recurrent stereotypes are gender stereotypes, religion stereotypes, and culture stereotypes. What do we mean by gender? Gender refers to roles and responsibilities associated with idealized cultural images of men and women. Unequal gender relations are therefore neither predestined nor immutable. Gender interacts with but is different from sex, which refers to the different biological and physiological characteristics of females, males, and intersex persons, such as chromosomes, hormones, and reproductive organs. Gender and sex are related to but different from gender identity. Gender identity refers to a person's deeply felt, internal and individual experience of gender, which may or may not correspond to the person's physiology or designated sex at birth. What do we mean by culture? Culture is the whole complex of distinctive spiritual, material, intellectual and emotional features that characterize a society or social group. What do we mean by religion? Religion is a collective and historical creation which reflects the diversity of human experience and the various ways people have of coming to terms with the promise, challenge, and tragedy of human life. Religion can also be defined as the relationship variously identifiable in rules of life, sentiments, and manifestations of homage, veneration, and adoration, which binds man, women to what she considers sacred or divine. The examples provided in this learning unit are illustrative, also considering that the list of stereotypes is destined to be enriched every time new awareness of discrimination emerges. The most urgent stereotypes to be addressed are those concerning identity and leading to discrimination against people. But stereotypes can also refer to how certain concepts are taught. For example, science is quite often presented in a simplified way, often not highlighting that it is the product of a human collective enterprise developed within specific historical context, and also neglecting the element of uncertainty and mistake which is embedded in the scientific process. UNESCO has started a process of reflection on issues concerning the quality of educational resources since the post-war period. At first it focused on raising awareness of stereotypes in educational materials, subsequently also promoting the importance of conveying acquired human rights through educational materials. According to UNESCO, by 2030, ensure that all learners acquire the knowledge and skills needed to promote sustainable development, including, among others, through education for sustainable development and sustainable lifestyles, human rights, gender equality, promotion of a culture of peace and non-violence, global citizenship and appreciation of cultural diversity and of culture's contribution to sustainable development. According to UNESCO perspective, quality textbooks and learning materials should actively engage the learner in the process of acquiring the knowledge, skills and attitudes necessary to become responsible citizens. Therefore, learning materials become a potent force for opposing all biased, incomplete and inaccurate representations of people and societies. Thank you for your attention.